how are you doing this Friday afternoon? Today, I want to talk a little bit about tequila. Yes, I said tequila. And today, the talk about tequila is really just talking about the connection between culture and geographical indications. Now, you might be saying, what is a geographical indication? And that's what this talk is about. Just let me give you a little bit of context. So, Kylie Jenner ran into some problems launching her tequila brand because there was outrage that she was culturally appropriating Mexican culture. So, for instance, there was some discussion on Twitter. Apparently, Jenner made the mistake of saying that she had perfected tequila after 3.5 years, and people did not appreciate this. She was quickly criticized for her new liquor line. Somebody posted a TikTok video and said Kylie Jenner was appropriating Mexican culture and that she should understand that she could have a detrimental impact on the Mexican tequila industry. And you might ask, how is tequila part of Mexican culture? And this is where the connection between geographical indications comes in, and the connection between culture and intellectual property becomes more evident. So what am I talking about? So a geographical indication is something that is now protected under international law, and it is something that was very much driven by the European Union because the Europeans have a lot of geographical indications for their wines and spirits. But tequila is a geographical indication in Mexico. When it was approved as a protected GI, a protected spirit geographical indication in the EU, the Commissioner of Agriculture is quoted as saying that tequila is the most emblematic alcoholic beverage produced in Mexico and forms an important part of Mexican cultural identity. So this is the connection between the tequila geographical indication and Mexican cultural identity. So, what is a geographical indication? A geographical indication has a legal definition as being an indicator of source that has some quality, reputation, or characteristic that can be attributed to its geographical origin. So the connection between culture and geographical indications is not a stretch, because you think of a particular territory, a particular geographic location, people might dress a certain way, they do things a certain way, they make things a certain way, and so that creates the connection between geographical indications and culture. And this is not to say that culture shouldn't be shared or nobody else should be able to use certain methods, but let's just pause for a moment and remember that geographical indications are something that are very prominent, very significant in Europe. And so it's not just about indigenous cultures, for instance, protecting their identities. There are many European geographical indications, and it really is connected to cultural identity. Maybe people who aren't big fans of tequila might not think of tequila and connect it to Mexico. Others do realize that it is something that has a quality, reputation, or characteristic that is connected to Mexico. It's really about the tequila being distilled from the blue agave, enriched and blended with other sugars, and the raw materials come from certain regions in Mexico. So it's made in a particular way with raw materials from a particular location. And so it is Mexican cultural identity. Should Kylie Jenner have been more careful? Well, people get into the question of what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. and that can be very tricky. Jenner pointed to other celebrities who already had been using tequila, making tequila. Others are doing it. Why attack Jenner in particular? That's a separate conversation. But simply to say that this is one of those things where it is a good idea to pay some attention. We do recognize intellectual property rights. Somebody would not say that it's okay to just use a Disney logo or a Disney symbol without thought. So, is there space for doing cultural due diligence when it comes to items that are elements of someone's cultural identity or items that are elements of a nation's cultural identity and are also intellectual property? So, food for thought. I will leave you there, hopefully, with some understanding of how tequila, culture, and geographical indications relate. It is an important part of culturally respectful branding to stop and do one's cultural due diligence. It's smart business. It's not just about cancel culture, it's also about being inclusive, broadening one's base, and also just having that awareness in the same way that one would before just grabbing a trademark and then finding out that, oops, you're now in an infringement suit. So that's just been a little bit about culture, geographical indications, and tequila. Until next time, please like and subscribe.